Well, good morning. I am back already. Yeah, I went to the hospital this morning early and I've had my appointment. I've had my procedure. And when I got back in the house a few minutes ago, first thing I did was I got this first cup of coffee going. So here I am with my first cup. Now, I gotta be honest, it's not my first sip. When I was bringing it out of the kitchen, I did take a sip, so I don't know. I sort of cheated a little bit there. Anyway, as you can see yesterday, we did finally paint the deck. And that's going to be in the rollback. Now, looking at it now that it's dry, maybe I'll move in close. It does look a little blotchy. I was saying yesterday that I didn't think I was going to have to put a second coat on. Or maybe it was just the way the light's hitting it, because right now it looks pretty good. Anyway, let's sort of roll back and see how we got to this place. It's a pretty lengthy rollback. I did it yesterday because I didn't know how today was going to go. You know, stuff can go wrong and you find yourself up in some sort of emergency surgery. I was actually went in for a colonoscopy about, I guess it was maybe my second or third one. And I was sitting there in the waiting room, and in comes the paramedics, and they haul a person out who things went wrong. And he's on the stretcher being wheeled out, and he's on the cell phone talking to his place of work, I guess, saying, I'm not going to be in. They got to take me up for emergency surgery. And so I said to the doctor when I went in, that wasn't very reassuring. But this was, I believe it was my sixth one. And I didn't have the sedative or painkiller or anything like that, because if you have the sedative, you can't drive home. Well, that's no good. Anyway, let's roll back. Okay, this is the plan. This is the plan for tomorrow's rollback. At this very moment, YouTube is trying to process the yesterday's video. You know, the one where we went down into the workshop. Yeah, but if I don't know how tomorrow is going to go, as I mentioned, and so what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to make sure that at least I've got a bit of a rollback. So it's only 11 minutes after 1 here this afternoon, so I'm hoping I can maybe get a little bit of spraying done. Now, I think you've heard that before, right? Okay, I'm going to do my best. I am 99% sure that we are actually going to spray this afternoon, unless I run into some kind of problems with the airbrush. But I don't think I will. So what we've got going on here is I've got my two good cameras going. There's that one that's going to be doing the 4K 60. And I'm going to zoom it right in, and I'll just sort of show you right now what I mean. Okay. Now, the other one there is going to take the wide angle shots, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch back and forth in my edit when I'm editing. Rather than trying to have just one camera and zooming it in and out, I'm going to have the two. And then I'll just, like I say, I'll just go from one to the other as need be. We'll just see how it goes. This is just actually a dry run here. I just want to see how, you know, if when I test these videos out, these clips out, does it look right, or do I need to adjust something? Because once I start to spray, that's it. I'm not going to be stopping. But I think it should work. So I'm just gonna run the hull, or rather the deck, by, and just see if it stays in the frame. Well, I'm really glad that I did a dry run here, because obviously we're going to have to back out a little bit. Our deck widened out a lot more than I thought it was gonna. Yeah, well, that's an easy fix. Now, it appears to me that everything should be in frame here. Well, let's go test it out and find out. It's looking promising. Okay, we got air pressure. I've got my diluted down paint here, deck tan, and I'm going to start out at 20 pounds, and hopefully I can decrease it because we're going to go through this pretty fast. Now I don't want to forget to turn on my fan here. And we'll just move this temporarily out of the way. Do you know what's happened? That tape that I put on that other one, it's slowly worked its way up the shaft, and the thing's digging in on me. Well, I guess I'll have to just deal with that, I guess. Let's turn it down just a little bit here. Try it at 15. I think that might be better. All right, here we go. Don't spill this now. Yeah, I wasn't anticipating that happening. Okay, so I would think that the bow is in the... Yeah, I can see. I'm looking at my monitor this time, so I know what's going on, sort of. Okay, that looks sharp. Now let's go get our fan turned on. One of these days I'm going to rig a switch up so I just have to flick it on and off and don't have to go around and plug it in. Now, occasionally I'm going to be getting my my hands in the way here for the other camera. Well, I'm going to shut this down, and then I'm going to explain a little bit of a problem that I noticed going on here, and you may have seen it too. Okay, I was wondering if this was going to happen, and it did. While I was spraying, I could see the, you might say, overspray that's supposed to go this way was being reflected back out, and it's because the spray was hitting it, and then it was reflecting back out instead of going across and into the spray booth. I'm going to have to come up with a different idea here. I don't know if I'm going to be doing any more painting on camera. This is the first coat. I'm going to be turning it over, giving it a second coat, check it over, see if there's any blotchy areas. Like right now it's kind of blotchy, but I want to get at this while the paint is while the spray is not clogged up on me. So it went pretty good. It went pretty good, except for the fact that the mist is coming back into the room here instead of going this way. Okay, I'm guessing about half an hour has passed here now since I did the other side, and got the airbrush all cleaned up, and yeah, we're drying off here, sort of. Guess I can put my watch back on now because I got the rubber gloves off. You know, I wanted a watch with a leather strap, and I don't know if I like it or not. Anyway, places where it got on a little heavy, it's still wet. I don't want to dare touch it. Like right here, I can see it's a little bit wet. So anyway, it went on pretty good. I didn't have any airbrush problems. No clogging or anything like that. I was quite pleased with the airbrush. I do not think we need a second coat. We'll take a look at this in the morning. This is the plan right now, and I don't know if I'm going to do it, but the plan right now is to clear coat the deck and then try the panel line color. Oh, I was going to mention, I think the reason why it's taking so long to dry here is because of that paint retarder that we put in it. And that's a good thing. It's not going on powdery. It went on. I think it's going to dry really nice here. What was I going to say? Oh, you probably can't see it, but we had an unusual bird at the bird feeder this afternoon. I'll have to show you that. And I think that's probably going to be it then for this afternoon. In about half an hour from right now, yesterday's episode will post. And I think I mentioned this 2 or 3 months ago that what I do is I put it on my Facebook and also on my Jim Steen's Model Ship Club site. So I usually do that right at 5 o'clock Winnipeg time. So, but that has to be done manually. It doesn't do it automatically. Anyway. Yeah, let's go check out and see what it was I saw at the bird feeder. now. The people at the hospital that were going to do the procedure, they wanted me there at 6:30 in the morning. And when I got there, I pretty much had the whole place to myself. Lots of room to park. And yeah, I get into the hospital and you walk down the hall and you're sort of expecting to see it lined with sick people, you know, COVID-ridden sick people. And no, nothing. It was eerily quiet, in fact. Did everybody die during the night or what? Anyway, yeah, it went quite well. Procedure went quite well, actually. I think it was probably one of the most painless ones I've had. The one I had before this, it was a little bit on the painful side, and I was considering going for the painkiller this time. And I thought, well, let's give it another whirl. I'm glad I did, because they just let me go as soon as it was over. Anyway. Okay, so here's what's happened. After I got back this morning in such wonderful time, I got kind of busy. I realized that I had put out the last carrot last night, so I went to Superstore this morning, got a few things that were on sale, because on grocery day, by the time grocery is picked up, the sale is over and you're paying full price. So I thought I may as well. The money I save on the groceries will pay for the gas, and I should be getting out more. However, that's not what we want to talk about at the moment. Got a comment from our friend Mark, Aussie Frenchman, and Mark reminded me that you know, when I was painting the deck, that there was also the superstructure. And I got to admit, Mark, I forgot about this part right here. This part here, I think it is textured in some way. We'll have to look at it really close. And yet this part right here is going to be covered up, and I believe this part as well. But this part here, it almost looks like it's some sort of texturing going on, but not really. Anyway, there is this half right here, from here to here, that is all planking. So that will have to be deck tan. I'll probably do that later this afternoon. Whether I'll video it or not, I don't know. Anyway, I've got a lot of bulk stuff that I've got to package up and get ready for the freezer, and that takes a little bit of time to do it properly. I want to be able to, you know, take my time at that. I do believe that I am not going to have to do a second coat on this part. It looks pretty good to me, and yeah, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how this is going to be after it is clear coated, and then the panel line color. Somebody suggested diluting the panel line color. Have any of you ever done that? Diluted the panel line color? I don't know. I think I'll probably just leave it the way it is and just sort of wash it on. You know, it'd be really too bad if I ruined the whole deck. And yet, on the other hand, so much of the rest of this ship is very dark that I think a dark deck is going to sort of blend right in, and people aren't going to notice if it gets kind of, you know, blotchy dark. Because my experience with panel line color is that you put it on here and it'll flow out maybe an inch or so each way, but it can look blotchy, especially on a large area like right here where there's a lot of you know, I don't know. I'm going to call it quits for today's episode, and thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.